Welcome back to another Just Give Me Some Time podcast. As always, I wanted to acknowledge the people who make this experience possible. We have our producer, Matt Gaff, and then we also have our assistant, our assistant, Gavin Gaff, is out climbing mountains in Iowa. Or where is there? There's no mountains. I'm just thinking of places that aren't any mountains that you'd be looking for mountains. Or maybe it's cave diving, maybe somewhere.
He's going to take a long time to find mountains in Iowa.
Yeah. You might not make it back then, so we'll have to hopefully, Gavin, you can find some mountains in Iowa. And I'm Dave Hilbish, Rock Solid Youth Pastor here at Stones Hill. We're blessed to have our guest tonight, Chase Stoner. What's your middle name, Chase?
My middle name is Alexander.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it's strong, right?
So it's like spelled Cass or
that is.
Alexander.
Sure, you could say that.
Yeah, Alexander the Great.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of. Yeah. Chase is a recent college graduate. He's got some pretty big plans coming up this summer. Just a little bit, right?
Just a
little bit. Yeah. So he's graduated from Taylor. What else can you do? Trojans?
Go Trojans.
What else can you do in 1 year? You're graduating, and you got to tell us what else you're doing.
Okay, so I graduated college on Saturday. I got a job offer for teaching yesterday. I'm getting married in July. And moving to Indianapolis in July as well. So
2023, man.
A lot of big steps in 2023.
Yeah,
I'm growing up quick.
About that.
It's crazy.
That's awesome. Really excited for you.
Yeah. I'm excited
Haley's
as well.
A wonderful lady. What's her middle name?
Lynn.
Lynn, okay.
Yeah, just like my aunt, which is weird.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah.
She's
Lynn.
my birthday twin.
Really?
Her Aunt Lynn. Yeah, May 6th.
Oh, my Aunt Lynn, not Haley. Okay, yeah.
When's Haley's birthday?
Hers is March 14th.
Okay.
That's why we're getting married on July 14th, because my birthday is February 14th. Hers is March 14th. We got to get married on
That
the 14th.
tracks. Yeah, that's good.
So I can remember when I'm old.
Important.
You know?
Yeah. You know what? Association is a good trick to remember important dates.
It's a great trick.
And it seems like if I'm remembering, Matt, I'm sure this is the case for you. Dates, when you're married, dates are important. So
I agree.
Yeah. So if you can get the dates right, there's some other things that might be able to slide a little bit more. Maybe I don't know.
That's
Maybe
good to know.
That's probably not true. Why am I saying that right here? I don't know.
Yeah,
Chris
this is
might
YouTube.
Be hearing.
Hello, YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your degree in?
I went to school for elementary education.
Okay.
Had a concentration in social studies.
Very cool.
Yeah. I minored in psychology for a little bit, so.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I loved it, but I just would have had to take a lot more classes, so I switched to social studies.
Did you have like child psychology classes at all?
I just got done with the child psych class. Love that class.
I was gonna say that probably helps.
I took a intro to psych, child psych, and marriage counseling class.
You'll be able to help families as well as
exactly.
kids. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember, Maddie. You know Maddie.
Yeah,
is a
I've met
elementary She was just saying that the hard part wasn't as much the kids as it was working with families and parents. So I think understanding how all those pieces fit together is so important. So I think that sounds like you're really shaped up to do some good there.
I'm excited
understand
for that.
how adults think, people think, marriages affecting kids and all that. So I'm excited for you, man.
Signing up for teaching is not just teaching. There's a lot that goes along with it.
Right. Yeah, you're not just wrangling cats. It's like you're shaping people for future generations, and that's weighty.
It is weighty.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
So we talked a little bit about changing culture here tonight, and just with how the Lord shaped us, for work, and what that's a huge prime example right there.
Yeah.
The fact that God's using the way He shaped us for work in our career to impact people beyond our lives. That's pretty neat. Yeah. What is about changing or teaching rather that really drew you like a laser beam?
Yeah, I think my experience, why I'm actually teaching, was I helped out with Children's Church here with Debbie Skimmerhorn.
I was going to say, shout out to Miss Debbie.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Debbie. And found out, I'm the youngest of all my cousins and an only child, so I've never been around kids other than your family. So I didn't know I liked kids until I helped out with Children's Church. Found out I loved it. Just loved how much they were interested. So I did cadet teaching over at the school in 3rd grade.
Who'd you work with there?
Mrs. Marsh.
Oh, yeah?
Melody Marsh, yeah.
Right.
Loved it. Great experience. She was my
Way to
3rd
go,
grade
Melody.
teacher. So
Oh, really?
It was awesome,
It's
yeah.
like coming home.
Yeah. And what I realized with why I wanted to do elementary school is there's just not a lot of teachers in the school that look like me. There's a lot of females, and I think that elementary is such a needed time for kids to see what it looks like to have a man in their life.
Oh, I love that, man. Yeah, I love that.
The sad reality is I'm spending more hours with their kids than a lot of their fathers are. So it's just weighty, like you said. It's impactful.
Yeah, that's awesome,
That's
man.
what I'm excited for.
Yeah. If you guys are listening out there, I'm sure you're thinking of all the influential teachers in your life. I'm thinking of them right now. I'm thinking about their faces. Of course, they have like 1980s hairdo and glasses
The
and
best
whatever.
kind of
Yeah. But I really appreciate the way they shaped my life. I was thinking about the top 5 people, most influential people in a person's life I hear are like coaches, parents, of course, and bus drivers is on the list, So all the bus drivers out there, and then teachers, because like what you're saying, chances are you're going to be spending more time than a lot of their family members are when it all comes down to it. Yeah. You were like a number of years ago, you were in that youth room there as a student.
It's weird to be back, but
what
fun
is
to be
that
back.
like? I mean, it's a total different. You're on the other end of things,
Yeah.
What is that like? What was it? What was your? I mean, I'm thinking about rooting on number 55 because I'm trying to think. I was here for until what 16, 15 to 16, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What year were you?
When I graduated?
When I was
you
in 2015.
So I would have been, I think I was in middle school when you went to finish your degree.
Okay.
I think I was in 8th grade when you left to go finish your degree.
Oh, man.
And you still helped out, but
yeah, I volunteered, but man, and Rudy along with Braden out on that football field, and
Exactly.
Number 55 out there, and man, I just feel like there were so many times. I'm almost like out of tears right now, just like thinking I missed out on your high school years. I mean, I just are friends, and with Braden and everything, but just the whole idea of being here and being part of that. So that's cool. What was like, if you think about a rock solid memory, what was it like for you? I remember you beforehand, you were trying to think of one that would be good to share. Has that come to you yet?
I'm thinking of some memories. I remember when I was on the praise team on, what did we call it? Revive? Worship?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger. I was a very talkative kid when I was younger, and we played a song that went like, Grace, Grace, God's Grace, something like that. And I talked a lot, and that was when Brian Scheidler was still with us, and he rewrote the words to that song to Chase, Chase, shut up, Chase, because I couldn't stop talking. And it's just memories like that. Worship was so much fun. We got really close with all of them. I loved leading worship, found out that I liked worship.
I was talking to Mike the other day, Mike and April, about how they led that small group. Small group ministry is just so impactful, and I just love how they led a worship-oriented small group, just to be, and then just to have the likes of Brian Scheidler.
He was an awesome guy.
Miss him for sure.
Yeah.
He's been gone how many years now? I'm trying to remember.
I was in high school when he passed away, so I think I was almost a freshman, sophomore, so 16, 17.
Yeah, I think about him often. Yeah. Shout out to the Scheidlers out there.
Yeah.
For sure. How'd it go with small group tonight?
It was good.
I didn't really have a time where I was like, "Here's Chase," and maybe we could do that next time.
That's okay. I don't need the red carpet. I just want to talk to kids about God.
I love it. No,
So,
I appreciate the way you love on them.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how you got Nathan Troxel out. I don't know if you know.
I know.
That was amazing.
That was the most athletic thing I think I've ever done.
I saw it. I mean, I was sitting there with Ben, and Jemima, and we were just like, "No way, that was awesome." And then Nathan's like, "Yep." I don't know where it came from. If you guys don't know, we were playing kickball earlier today and I think it really well. It's amazing how just a small, simple game as kickball can get people as crazy as it did. But you're getting Chase was the all-time pitcher.
Yeah.
And which is appropriate. Back in the day. And was it you're getting it from the outfield?
Yeah, this guy, what was his name?
Nathan Troxel. He's a runner.
Booted it to deep left field, and I don't remember who fielded it, but they threw a launched the ball in, and it was too high for me to catch it, and I didn't think I had enough time to catch it. And he's rounding third, coming home quick. So I just jump up and volleyball spike it at the kid. Got him right in the foot. And I was like, how did I do that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my skill. I don't know what happened.
I thought it was just like a Wednesday to you.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what I do every Wednesday night.
I actually play professional kickball. It's one of my passions. So
I hear it's a really big sport in Indochina, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. A big league out there.
Yeah, it's a huge league.
Yeah. What would you say? Like to somebody here at Rockside with what you know now, and what would you say for somebody like if the youth out there is listening and has experienced a little bit of you tonight? Say Nathan Troxel experienced that amazing volleyball spike, and you were just speaking out to a dude like that tonight. What would you say with what you know?
I think
about just life and pursuing the Lord.
I think with pursuing the Lord, I think a lot of times people focus on, like, when you ask somebody how they're doing in their faith, a lot of times the three questions you ask is, what does your prayer look like? What does Bible time look like? And what does worship look like for you right now? And I would, when I was in college, I had a great small group, and we talked a lot about, like, we think that there's another level to that. I think a big part of this is also friendships and who you're around. I think it's fascinating how, like, even in Jesus' ministry, as he was getting ready to take off on his mission and his purpose, he didn't do it alone. He asked 12 guys to surround him and go along with him. So he had people lifting him up and pointing him in a right direction. I think that's key, especially in high school and middle school. And once you step out of this awesome building, and when you don't have Wednesday night church, you need people around you to just, like, check on you and hold you accountable for the actions that you're making. So I think friendships and knowing that you have the best friends to actually talk about, like, real life things instead of just surface level things as well.
So good.
I think it's powerful.
You have to, like, one of the things we were talking about is, like, to continually grow after high school, or just in general. Like I was talking a little bit about, having listened to a podcast earlier about with Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, talking about once you establish something, build it, you really have to guard it and protect it and maintain it. And our spiritual life is so much that way. So you're saying that you just can't go to a default and just be around whoever you're just around. It sounds like you really have to work at surrounding yourself with people that, like you said, aren't just about surfacey stuff. They're about the things that you want to be about.
Yeah, it's all about intentionality. And it's not that
so good.
You can't be around other people that aren't walking the same walk as you, but the people that are fighting in your corner need to be running the same race as you.
I love that. Fighting in your corner for you and the things you believe in.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. So you can, it's not that you can't discount other people in your life, like you were saying.
Yeah.
That's good. And by all means, you almost need all kinds of people in your life to be a salt and pepper to those people, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Otherwise, it just, this homogeneous structure that's not really, that looks all the same. It's bland out there. God created flavors, And I know we read the scripture from Matthew 5:16 from the Message paraphrase version. I know not everybody's excited about that version maybe, but I just love that it talks about how God's created us with God colors, So I'm just thinking about how there's certain colors that are vibrant colors that He has created us with that this world is totally missing out on, and we need to engage in the lives of other people, don't we?
Yeah.
That's great. So intentionality, that's huge. Yeah,
definitely.
It's just so easy to coast spiritually, and it sounds like we need to do a little bit more of that. Let's see. So we were talking about how surrounding yourself with other people and encouraging your journey has been really helpful for you. Is there anything else that you would say that has been really helpful for you? Maybe that you've learned through some heartache, maybe that you thought was a good plan and it just didn't work out as in how sometimes some of the best life lessons are learned through pain and struggle and frustration or anger. What are some things that you could say to that?
I think the first thing that came to my mind that goes off of the friendships, I think when I was in high school, there was a lot of things that I was struggling with, but I told myself I'm a Christian, I'm not supposed to be struggling with these things. So I didn't feel like I could tell anybody, or I didn't feel like I could share my sins because I'm supposed to be this upstanding Christian. I'm supposed to resemble Christ. And I think that's just so backwards. I think through the pain, I think there's just so much healing that comes from confession to a lot of people. Especially when I got to college at Taylor, with it being a Christian college, there's just right out the gate, there was a lot of confessions from a lot of guys, and you're just like instantly like, wait, I'm not alone. Like, wait, you struggle with that too. And so this just like baggage fell off, and then it's almost like, now I'm okay to tell anybody what I'm struggling with or whatever it looks like in the proper manner to do that. But I think if you have something that you feel like you should say, but you don't want to say because you're afraid it's going to damage your image or whatever that looks like, my guess is somebody else is struggling with the same thing. So share. Speak up with it.
Man, it's so hard, all those anxieties and feeling alone. I feel like that's just right where Satan wants us.
Yeah.
Because we just eat ourselves from the inside out.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love that. So get to be part of a community where it sounds like there's a certain level of trust that's there, where to the confession, drawing the darkness into the light.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, as we're light bearers, and now you got a lot going on. What do you do to relax out there? What are some hobbies that you're excited about?
I love mowing the yard. I love mowing. It's so peaceful to me. I think I don't do art. I'm not a very artsy person, but making the lawn striped, I think is my kind of art, and it's so relaxing. It just, like my yard, it takes 2 hours to mow, so 2 hours for me to just process my thoughts or listen to music, listen to podcasts, whatever it looks like. Love mowing. Love sitting around campfires at night. For some reason, campfires bring great conversations. Love that about campfires. I love the shade. I don't like the sun. I like to sit under a tree or wherever there is shade. That's peaceful to me. Sitting out in the sun and just burning is not peaceful to me.
Yeah. Isn't that funny how we sit on beaches and just for the mere purpose of darkening your skin and
It's ludicrous to me.
I get it if you were taking a nap, that's a little more purposeful than just sitting out there doing nothing.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I think it's funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what I also love watching movies, TV shows. But
what are you excited about? A TV show or movie right now?
There's a new Christopher Nolan movie coming out soon called Oppenheimer about the creation of the atomic bomb.
Yes.
It's got my favorite actor, Matt Damon. Shout out Matt Damon.
Oh,
in
there you go.
So
who's the dude that has high cheekbones and blue eyes? I think he plays Oppenheimer.
I have no
What's
idea.
his name? He's like Irish, or he was in the Peaky Blinders, or
okay. I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
Oh shoot, Murphy, something like that.
Yes.
Kylan Murphy.
Keelan something. Yeah, that guy.
Some Celtic
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
I have a weird thing about whenever I watch movies, I have to get on my phone and see who the actors are and what their names are.
Yeah. What's their names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's me accepting I'm getting older and want to know those things.
I want to know things. Yeah. Because
right.
time is, we talked about, we only have a certain number of heartbeats and breaths left,
Yeah.
We're starting to notice this as we get older.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I heard, was it the birthday card says, birthdays are like boogers. The more you have, it's harder to breathe, or something like that.
That's wisdom right there.
Oh, I know. So there you go. Just have it out there. I'm feeling a little bit of that too when I was approaching the 5-0 this year. So another podcast I was listening to on the way down to help Braden and Megan out. I came across this dude, and they were talking about how crazy the world is out there, and maybe it's always been crazy, just in a different way. And when you come out of a situation, a cave or whatever you're in of life, and you think it's like with school or coming out into maybe you're just a little bit more present in the world, realizing like, wow, I'm getting married, I'm gonna have my own family, and what does this all mean? Is the world still there? Is it burning down? Is everybody okay? And one of the things that I was just really inspired by, the response to that question, this one dude was saying, it's like, well, you gotta pay attention what does he say? It's about where you look and who you listen to. Mm-hmm. So, like, as you're asking those questions, is this world burning down? Is it okay out there? Whatever, is there a spectrum of disaster from minimal to complete meltdown situation, DEFCON 4? Who do what do you look for, and what do you listen to out there to get a bead on your reality, and how to gauge and how to live this new life that you're going to have with Haley?
Yeah, it's a good question. I feel like a lot of things that I like to process through is music, and I think there's a lot of good artists right now that are creating music because it's a lot of times the words are saying one thing, but in their background there's a deeper meaning, and it makes me think hard. But I think with the thinking hard, you gotta just think really critically about a lot of things. There's just a lot of information out there and not all of it can be correct. So you got to think critically on what it is and how it impacts you. You got to understand the context of where it's coming from, what angles they're coming from, and understand it's a broken world. I just, for one of my assignments in college, had to read Tim Keller. He just passed away, which was sad.
I think I knew that.
Yeah, he just passed away.
Oh, my.
Yeah, but I was reading the book Reason for God. But reading that, my last class that I took at Taylor was contemporary Christian belief, and it was just talking about a lot of ways as Christians how we can process what it looks like to be a Christian now, with a lot of reasoning people are leaving the faith, and ways that we can argue for our faith and support them, but also like challenge them with our thoughts and philosophy. It's a philosophy class. It was very, very dense, very hard test, but it was a very interesting class. But I'm kind of rambling on that stuff. But
no, I like that. The critical thinking skills are
very
huge,
so.
aren't they? Yeah. Be able to think through for ourselves and weigh a lot of things out there. Yeah, because there's a lot of disappointment, isn't there, when people are leaving, quote unquote, leaving the faith. It's like, man, what got them there in the first place?
Yeah.
It's amazing how many life situations we come across, life experiences really dictate on where our beliefs are, and we almost have to walk that back a little bit with people, don't we? And it's like, okay, what do you mean by this? And how is this affecting you? Where are you at? And it seems like people respond so much by the way they hurt and run away from a lot of things and that make them uncomfortable. And not to say that's what's happening to a lot of people out there that are struggling, but I find it is, and they don't have enough people to just really unpack that stuff with and talk with.
Yeah.
A lot of reactive decisions are made out there.
Yeah. I think something I've been thinking a lot about recently is with the world, and the world just seems like it's making a lot of crazy decisions. And I just keep reminding myself that they're playing from a different rule book than me. And it's so hard it's really easy for myself, and I think a lot of us Christians, to just be like, pointing out the flaws in a lot of things that they're doing, and they don't receive that very well because they're not playing from the same rule book as us. And it's hard to talk about God in that way if you have very different views and understanding on where that's coming from. I think that's why a lot of conversations people are starting off with where they just talk about how the sin is wrong, but I think a lot of conversations need to happen about Jesus first and get on the same rule book, same page before you can get to that, because there really is completely different ideologies, everything. But I don't know, I'm still thinking through that and what that looks like.
Yeah, the foundations are so different, aren't they? Yeah. It's really hard to catch up. Yeah. When your building's built so differently.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Got to get a similar foundation before you can start building off of that.
I love the idea of understanding and continuing the conversation
Yeah.
with people. And hopefully we all tend to, we all desire to grow together, understand truth.
Yeah. It's so hard to
Help people understand truth and love, of course.
Very much so. It's so hard to be slow to speak and quick to listen, though.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, people definitely need to be listened to, for sure, out there. That's part of the issue, I think. We're horrible listeners, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, man, it's so good to talk with you. I know
Yeah.
we're running close to time here, but it was so worth it. Thank you so much for opening yourself
Thanks
up.
for having me. This is
Yeah.
fun.
Oh man, I saw you. I'm just like really excited that you're here for the next number of weeks here, and this is actually our last podcast until next fall.
Signing off. Wow.
So I really appreciate.
What an honor.
Yeah, I know. What is this, man? Is this 11 or 12? I'm trying to remember what we got here, but
Lucky number 12.
yeah.
Come on.
11.
11.
I was thinking, yeah,
Sticks.
around
I
there.
like it.
Yeah. Would you mind reading our scripture for the night? We were talking about how we are God's handiwork.
Oh, right here.
We are the handiwork of the one who created this amazing heavens and earth, but also the microbiological processes that we study and are amazed by. And it's surely if we are the handiwork of somebody that created those things, that means something that means something about the kind of good works that he has for us and that he's prepared for in his advance to do. So I'll love for you to sign us off with that scripture in Ephesians for us.
Yeah. Our scripture today comes from Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care, you guys. Continue the conversations and keep on loving people.